and welcome back to my channel. Today's video we're going to be testing out some new hyped makeup products. I have in front of me literally a giant tub of new makeup that we'll be testing out in today's video. This is going to be a full face of first impressions. I haven't tried any of these products before, so why don't we go ahead and get started. Alright you guys, so I already got my hair tucked back. I am ready. I got quite a few new makeup products to test out. I'm really excited to get started trying these products out. We have some new releases and then some oldies that I feel like are pretty popular that I've never tried before that I'm going to be testing out as well. So to prime, I have two different primers. So this first one is from First Aid Beauty. It's the Pores Be Gone Matte Primer. I've been hearing really good things about this one. This one is a new release from First Aid Beauty. And then I also have the coveted little cooling stick from Milk Makeup. This is just called their cooling stick. So I'm actually going to try this one first on my under eyes and kind of apply it a little bit on my face. But I don't want it to be everywhere because I don't want it to not go well with like the mattifying primer. So I'm kind of just going to apply it where I won't apply the mattifying primer. So I always see people applying it to their eyes. I only like applying those type of primers just to like my pore area and the area that I do have larger pores because I feel like they are a more slippier, I don't know the right word to use, but a more like silicone based primer, and for me that kind of makes my makeup just like slide around a little bit more, so I prefer something definitely more hydrating for the rest of my face. I don't feel like that really felt very cooling per se. It didn't feel bad. It does feel a little bit tacky now, so I'll kind of let that seep in. So I'm going to go ahead and try out this Pores Be Gone primer. I'm going to get a small amount here on my finger, and actually this isn't too silicone-y. It feels actually like it might be pretty hydrating. So maybe I could have did this all over my face, but for now I'm still kind of just going to put it in the area that I do have the largest pores, and I kind of just like to just tap it in a little bit. I kind of work it in and then tap it in so it just kind of fills in those pores. Now we're going to start with the foundation. So for foundation, I have some products here from Wonder 2. And they sent over quite a generous PR package, so I'm going to be trying out quite a few products from the brand. So this is their Lash and foundation. It's a 24-hour flawless coverage foundation. They sent over the shade 20 Sand. Here is what the packaging looks like. So I'm just going to be trying this out. I don't know if this is going to be the right shade match or anything, so hopefully it is. And we'll go ahead and apply a little bit to my hand here and see. It looks like it's going to be a little bit dark for me, but I'll have to try and make it work. I have like lighter concealers if we need to. So I'm actually just gonna go in with a beauty sponge directly off my hand and kind of just grab the product and apply it. So it's definitely a little bit orange, but I feel like we can make it work. It seems a little bit thick on my hand, but when I'm applying it, it doesn't seem like too thick, or it doesn't feel heavy so far. Not noticing much of a scent or anything at all with this, so I am gonna have to definitely work this into my neck because like I said, it's looking a little bit orange, but the coverage seems pretty good. I consider it probably like a medium coverage. I definitely feel like it looks buildable. Like you could build it up to full. I prefer more medium coverage, so that's probably what I will build it up to be. All right, so we've got that blended out the best we can. I definitely feel like I had to use quite a bit of product, but again, that could be because of the shade match, which having to like drag it all the way down my neck, and I feel like I had to apply quite a bit of it to kind of get it all to match. They also sent over concealer as well, so this is their Last and Foundation, our Last and Foundation concealer, so it's the same as the foundation. This one is in a squirt tube, and this is also the same shade, so it's 20 medium. So I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of this onto my hand. Squirt concealers aren't my favorite. I prefer like a doe foot applicator when it comes to my concealers, but I can kind of make it work. I'm just going to use my finger to apply it, and I might have to go in with a lighter one as well because I feel like I was hoping this was a shade or two lighter so that we could actually correct some of this orangeness, but with it being the same shade, I don't know that it will. Actually looks a little bit lighter than the foundation, so this might actually work to help kind of just not make us look so orange. This seems to be blending out really nice. It has nice coverage to it. Again, it's just not my favorite type of component to have it in, like a squeeze tube like this. But the actual coverage on it seems pretty nice. It feels nice and hydrating on the eyes. So I'm going to run a little bit of this down my nose, do a little bit on the chin, and also some on the forehead as well. Definitely with this, a little bit goes a long way. I just applied like the tiniest squirt in my hand, and it's kind of doing my whole face here and my under eyes. They also sent over this perfect Selfie setting powder here. It's like a compact, it's an HD powder. So I'm actually just gonna run my Beauty Blender right into the powder, and I'm gonna use this as our setting powder for our under eyes, as well as the rest of our face. Always gotta set the lids because my lids love to crease on me, and my forehead is just creasing a lot lately too. We're just a creasing mess. I'm ready for my skin to just be back to normal. I'm so dry in the winter time that I just like, I'm so used to being dry now that I'm ready for like the warmer weather so that my skin can get back to normal. All right, so now for bronzer, I'm just gonna use the Marc Jacob Tantastic. I do not have a new bronzer to try out. That is the one thing I do not have. I do have like a new highlight and blush and everything like that, but I don't have a new bronzer. So I'm just gonna use this one. I've still been just testing this one out, seeing if I like it. I recently picked it up at my most recent Sephora purchase. I got it during the VIB sale. Okay, so now for blush, Lime Crime sent over some of their new like spring collection, and this was part of it. So this is the Soft Wear Blush in Pixel, and this one is, when I tried to swatch it in my PR unboxing, it seemed so light that I'm just really curious what it's gonna look like on the skin, because when I was swatching it, it's like pretty much undetectable. So we'll see how it looks on the face. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into the blush and see. I'm gonna grab a generous amount because I'm not exactly sure how this is gonna look, if we can even see it really. It says soft focus, so I'm guessing it's supposed to be just like a very, very light blush, just kind of something a little flush on your skin. I'm definitely seeing it, but it's not really giving off too much pigment, just giving us like a very, very light color here. If you're one who likes like a really subtle blush, this might be something that you would like. For me, I like something a little bit more pigmented. So I really feel like I'm having to dig in here to get any product out. But again, there's definitely a market for this because I feel like a lot of people do like just a really subtle, barely there kind of a blush. For the glow, we're gonna test out this new one from Kokie Cosmetics. This one is in Heavenly, and this one is called their Soft Glow Highlights. And Kokie is an affordable brand, so I have high hopes for this highlight here because I love finding new, I love finding new like affordable products that are really good. This looks like it's really pigmented. I will say that it looks like it's kind of just picking up my texture here. It looks pretty glittery, but it definitely looks very blinding. I guess it just kind of depends on what kind of highlight you like. I'm not someone who loves a glittery highlight, so for me, this probably isn't gonna be a new favorite because I don't really love that kind of glow. But I'm gonna actually go over it, I think, with my sponge and see if we can't just make it a little less textured on my skin. All right, so now we've got our complexion done. I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows and then we'll move on to the eyes. So this is from Wonder Brow again, and this one is their Dual Precision Brow Liner. So it has two different tips on it. So on the one side, you have like a small precision pencil, and then on the other side, you have more of like a triangular pencil. So this one is in the shade Black Brown, so I'm a little bit nervous it's going to be a little bit dark, but we'll try it out. It's definitely a long pencil, like it's longer than I'm used to. So I'm first going to go in with the triangular side, and I'll go ahead and just map out my brows with this, and then I'll use the precision side like on the front. It seems a little bit waxy, but not too bad. I don't mind like a waxy pencil. The shade looks a little bit dark, but not like the worst brow color I've ever used. Only thing this doesn't have is a spoolie. I do like having a spoolie on my brow pencils so that I can kind of spoolie out my brows. But so far I'm actually pretty impressed with this. I'm going to try the little precision side and do that for the front of my brow and kind of do a couple of those little brow strokes here for the front. This side is really nice. Like it's really making those brow strokes here. I'm going to do some just like through my brows and then I'll go ahead and spoolie it out. All right, so now that we've got our brows done, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with our eyeshadows. So for that, we're gonna be going in with this new little palette from Lime Crime. This is the Plushies palette. So it says Sheer Pressed Pigment Quad. So there are 4 different shadows in here. Since these are pressed pigments, it probably means that they're gonna stain my eyes. So keep that in mind if you are planning to get this palette. But I'm gonna go in with Melon Smoothie first. I think I'm gonna use like these 3. I'll probably stay away from the blue, but I'll use these 3. And then I have a glitter from Lime Crime as well to try out. So Melon Smoothie is the first shade we're gonna go in with. With it being a pressed pigment, I'm kind of gonna just like tap it in first, and then I'll begin to blend it out. I feel like with the pressed pigments, sometimes that works best. Quite a bit of kickback in the actual palette, so always make sure you tap off your brush. I'm kind of bringing this shade a little bit higher up as well. So next I'm gonna go into Rosebud, which is gonna be like this pinky shade in the palette. And I'm gonna just stamp that one again and just begin to blend it into the crease. Then we're gonna go into Chocolate Milk, which is the brown shade. I'm using a little bit of a smaller blending brush because I really just wanna focus this shade only on the outer crease and just a little bit into the outer lid here. I'm having a little bit of chappiness on this side with that brown shade. For some reason on this side of my lid like never wants to blend out right, but I'm gonna go over with glitter anyways, so I'm hoping it looks okay. I'm gonna run some of those first 2 shades on my lash line here really quickly, kind of connect the 2. Okay, so now we're gonna try out the Diamond Dew. This is like a liquid eyeshadow from Lime Crime as well, and we're gonna test this one out on the eyes and see how we like it. It has kind of like a little triangular applicator here. So I'm just gonna apply this directly onto my lid and we'll see how it looks. It has different color reflex in here, so it's kind of gonna give us that effect that like the different way that you look at it, you'll see like the different colors. But I do feel like it's giving off quite a bit of pigment. I only had to go in the 1 time. We'll see how it creases throughout the day, because sometimes with these liquid shadows, I notice that they do crease a bit. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen with this one. So I actually think that looks really pretty. I'm gonna go in with the Kokie highlight and apply a little bit of that just to my inner corner, just to give us a little something extra for a pop on the inner corner. So I actually think this eye look is really pretty. I still notice a little bit of that chappiness on this side, but I like the way that it turned out. I'm gonna apply some mascara and then we'll try out the lip products that I have. All right, so we're back after our mascara. I just applied the Warrior Mascara from Flower Beauty. It's one of my favorites. And now we're gonna go in with our lip products. So the lip product I'm gonna be trying out is a pretty hyped lip product from Laura Lee Los Angeles. This one is in the shade Jaybird. So this is a liquid lipstick, and then I also have a lip shine I wanna try out after to apply like over top of this. I've never tried any of her lip products, so I'm curious to see how this is on the lips. Smells really good. It kind of seems like more of like a whipped formula. All right, so there it is on the lips. It's already drying down pretty nicely. You got a little on our teeth right here, but it does seem like it's cracking a little bit, like it's not the most flattering. So we'll see, but I like the formula of it. Like I like the way it feels. And with a liquid lip, obviously it's gonna last long, so we'll have to see like how long it lasts on the lips. I am gonna let this dry for a second. I wanna try out one of these new, this is called the Lovingly Lip Oil. So I don't know how this is gonna work applying a lip oil over top of a liquid lipstick. It might be kind of a mess. But when I was swatching this formula, it felt more kind of like a gloss, like it's a more thick formula. So I think it's gonna apply kind of like a gloss. So I'm gonna try to apply this over top and see if it wears like a lip gloss. The applicator doesn't really get much of the product on it. Like you really have to kind of scoop in there to get the product out. But the application of it definitely looks more like a lip gloss, but it feels pretty comfortable. All right, so there is with the lip on. I do feel like the lip is a little bit dark for this eye look. I would have probably rather had just like a regular nude, but I like the combo. I like the way it looks. I'm gonna just spray my face really quickly with some of the Morphe Setting Mist, and then I will get into my final thoughts. So chatting about the products, the mattifying primer from First Aid Beauty, I don't really notice too much of a difference with my pores. I still feel like they're pretty noticeable. I'll have to continue to try this out with different like foundations and see how I feel about it, but I don't really notice like too much of a difference with this one. The cooling one, it felt okay. It felt hydrating, but I didn't really see any difference with this one either. So both the primers were kind of like a, I don't know, like I'm gonna have to try them again. The foundation and the concealer from Wonder 2, I actually like the way that the foundation turned out afterwards. I still think it's a wrong shade for me. It could be like a couple shades lighter. The way it looks on my skin, I think it looks really pretty. It doesn't feel as heavy as it first did when I first applied it, but I did have to use quite a bit of product with this one to get like this medium coverage. The concealer, I really liked the coverage on this one, and it doesn't look to be creasing or anything like that. Just don't love the applicator on that, but I can get over it if the actual product is really good. For the powder seems pretty nice under my eyes and also all over the face. And then we are moving into the blush. This was a bit of a miss for me from Lime Crime. I had to use so much to get any pigmentation, I feel like, on my cheeks. But I do feel like it kind of says that with the software, so I'm wondering if this is something that's just really meant to be really, you know, subtle, but I had to use quite a bit to even see it at all. From Kokie, we had the Soft Glow highlights, and I do think it's really pretty. I think initially I thought it was pretty glittery, but now that my face is all done, I don't mind it. I definitely feel like it's still kind of highlighting like this texture here, but it's not too much to where it's like overly glittery. Like I would still wear this. I do think it's really pretty, especially for like a drugstore highlight. I think it's really nice. The brow pencil I did end up really liking. I like the way that my brows did turn out. The little quad right here I thought was really nice, and then also this one I think is really pretty on the eyes. I can't wait to see like how it wears throughout the day, if it creases or anything, but so far I was pretty impressed with the pigmentation on that one. And then we just have the lip products left. So the Laura Lee Los Angeles lip color, I don't really know how I feel about it because I haven't got to test it out like all day, see how long wearing it is, but initially I do like the color of it. And then the lip oil from Lilah B, I do think it's pretty paired on top of this. I do feel like it's more of a gloss, so that's interesting that they're calling it like a lip oil because I don't notice that. It seems more of like a sticky, glossy type of feel to it. But that is going to do it for this first impressions full face of hyped makeup. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think of the final look that we created. Have you tried any of these products? Are you planning to try any of these products? Let me know down in the comment section. Give this one a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, friends.